Check, check, check. Hello, hello. Yay! Alrighty, so Mia the Clown back again for another wacky video. But this one's probably not actually going to be that wacky at all. I don't know. I came on here because I got a couple gifts that I wanted to show you. A couple months back, I ordered myself and my boyfriend a couple patches because we were celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and I wanted to get him something that would be meaningful and would last forever, and I thought, patches. His patch came in a couple weeks ago, and I was really scared that mine wouldn't come in, but then it finally has. So this is my Coheed and Cambria patch. As you can see, there is the dragonfly and the key work, which is really relevant to Coheed and Cambria fans. It's way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you noticed, but my eyebrow ring is missing a spike. That also happened this week. That's not that relevant, but it also happened. So today, or I guess maybe a couple days ago, because of the day that I'm filming versus the day that this actually comes out, my dad came by, and it was really, really awesome to see him. I haven't seen him since like the beginning of the quarantine, and so it's been a really, really long time. We socially distanced and spoke with masks on, but it was really, really good to see him. He came by, and he was nice enough to bring me this amazing work of art. This was painted by my uncle Don Lacasse, and I really, really, really like it. It was really nice of my dad to drop it off. Gave me the warm and fuzzies. So thank you so much, Don. This is amazing. I'm gonna put it, I don't know, I'm gonna put it somewhere. It's visible for the rest of the video. Now I'm going to be like blocking it the whole time. Alright. If you're a fan of Black Eyed Susan, you know that that photo was taken at one of Black Eyed Susan's, or actually literally Black Eyed Susan's last show ever. I don't even know if we knew at that time that that was going to be the last show ever. But I guess this picture just kind of reminds me of them and my experiences with them, particularly like my last experience with them and how great a show it was. It was on my birthday. It was actually, so if you guys can see like above it, like right right here, right above it is a poster from that last show. So all of this has got me kind of sentimental, and I thought I would come on here and maybe just talk about some of my experiences, my journeys, my adventures, and maybe talk about like my career thus far. I'm gonna do a lot of shout outs because there's a lot of people that helped me be the performer and musician that I am today, and I really love all those people, and I would like to credit them. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you or talk to you about my journey today, and it's gonna be a blast. We're gonna start at the beginning, I guess, and talk a little bit about how I sung when I was like a kid. I kind of started singing when I was young, but I was always really, really shy about singing until high school. So like I always sung. I even kind of wrote a couple songs. They weren't very good. A lot of my musical journey kind of really took flight in high school. I went to Arnprior District High School, and I had the pleasure of studying under Mr. Frank Pecora. He essentially inspired me to write music in a way that like nobody else really did at that time. He really gave me the freedom to write and get grades for writing. Good songs would get good grades, and like not as complex songs that weren't really my best wouldn't get as great grades. So like it really challenged me. At that time, I also did a lot of musical theater. I did some community theater. I did a lot of extracurriculars that were really fun. I did junior band all the way through, even though I didn't have to. I did instrumental music. My favorite was Red Velvet Jazz Choir. I had so much fun in this jazz choir, I'm telling you guys. Red Velvet was actually the reason I went to Arnprior District High School in the first place, because I'd seen them perform at a different event, And I really wanted to be a part of that. Towards my senior years, I started a couple bands because I really liked alternative rock and some metal, and it was really fun for me to cover a lot of these songs with a couple of my friends. I was in Painstake, and then I was in Simple Gesture in my senior year. Great people. I had such a fun experience writing music. After that, I guess what I really wanted to get better at was like the performing aspect of things. I was a bit insecure and really shy ultimately. So I went to St. Clair College for musical theater, and that was a blast. I got to be a hot box dancer in Guys and Dolls. I learned a lot about clowning that ultimately led me to my stage name, Mia the Clown. I learned a lot about traditional clowning, in which we like would meditate and like reflect on our inner selves. It was really cool. I know it sounds kind of wishy-washy, but it was really cool. And essentially you would meditate and then you would just play, and it was very much about connecting to your inner child. And that spoke so much to me that it's kind of became a big part of how I write. It's very expressive, very honest to me. Good times. Vocal Tech was a course or a class that taught us about all the inner workings of the voice and how it all works together. And they talked about different ways to keep your voice very healthy. This was actually the time where they told me that I wasn't singing correctly, and I was kind of hurting myself a bit. Now, after so many years of singing and learning from different people like that, I have become a vocal coach myself, where I kind of tutor people into healthy singing choices, and then more or less just kind of let them explore what their voice can do while being a supervisor and making sure that they're safe. Yeah. So without that course, I probably wouldn't do what I do now. So that was really interesting part of my journey. I ultimately left college for a lot of different reasons at the time, but when I look back on it now, I think the biggest reason why I left so early, I was only a year and a half into my course, was that I really missed writing and being myself. I wanted to express myself through music, not just become these different people. As fun as acting is, and I still act, and I still very much love musical theater, it just wasn't the type of thing that I wanted to do all the time. I want to write and sing and have fun. I left college and I really just had this urge to start a band. That was my biggest thing. So I met Casey Chaplin, my angel, when I was at St. Clair. And she like immediately was on board. She became my bass player, and we were well on our way, and our chemistry was really great. She had a lot of this personality, this performance personality that I didn't really have. In a way, I learned a lot more about that from her than I did taking performance courses. Me and Casey went forth to find a drummer, and we did actually struggle for quite a while. We met TJ at a show at the Coach and Horses. He came out to see us play and see what we were all about, and he was immediately down. He started talking us up, talking about different covers we wanted to do, started talking about his jam space and his setup. We didn't have a good jam space at the time, so that was like a huge deal. And he really seemed to know what he was doing. He was older than us by a couple years and had made his way through the Windsor scene many times before. He was just the right person, and we went forth as a three-piece for quite a while. Just when we thought things like couldn't get better as a unit, as a alternative rock unit, we met Jessie Atherton. Her energy was just like what we wanted. Our friendship like really cemented, like adding her really like cemented all of our friendships. She became our lead guitar player. We both kind of learned how to play better together, and really learned how to use each other's skill to mask our weaknesses. It was a really good time. She's a really great performer as well. I very much miss being a part of that band, and I think about them every day. I also did some of the managing side of things, so I put together a lot of shows, and I did a lot of event managing for us. And that was a blast because of all the awesome people that I got to meet. Because of TJ's experience and a lot of the overwhelming encouragement from other people in the scene, we were able to learn really, really quickly how to put on a good show, what bands were good to have with us. Before I started managing and doing stuff like that for Black Eyed Susan and putting together events, I met Scott Funnel, and that guy... He worked at the Coach and Horses at the time. I believe he's still putting together shows now, or if not, he did up until recently. His policy was essentially you just emailed him and told him that you wanted to play, and he would essentially let you play his venue if he thought you were good, and he would let you put together your own shows. So I got to learn a lot about putting together events and how to put together good events and successful events and events for all different types of bands and promoting them. Yeah. So thank you so much, Scott Funnel, for your help in all of this. That period of time, I think, shaped me as a person more than a lot of other periods of time. It's a good period of time. Ultimately, though, some stuff happened, and I was starting to get older, and I really missed being around my family. They still live out in Arnprior, actually. It was so heartbreaking. I moved to Arnprior, and then very, very shortly after, I moved here to Ottawa, and that has been really cool. Ottawa has been like a really completely different scene. It's really been different from the things that I've learned before. But pretty close to immediately when I moved to Ottawa, I met Brad and John, who then formed From Dancing to Violence. Actually, wait. We were Everybody Wants to Be a Ninja, and then we were From Dancing to Violence because of a really big lineup change. We lost our drummer and bass player. At that time, I'd actually also suffered a neck injury, so I was almost out of commission. We ended up meeting Walter, and he was a good friend of Brad and John's. Walter is a really great dude as well. He plays bass for us now, and it's been a blast. We are actually currently looking for a drummer, so if you live in Ottawa and you're interested, yeah, that's something that we have not really talked about a lot yet. Lastly, I guess I want to talk a little bit, without revealing too much, about Mia the Clown. Yeah, there's lots to be said. MTC is really ultimately the softer, more emotional side of my creativeness, and I've really enjoyed writing music for this project. It's very acoustic, a lot quieter, but I don't know, very soulful in my opinion. I'm very excited to start working on recording an album. Don't want to reveal too much though. That's all I'm going to say for now about that. So that's my journey. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to all of the people that have taught me or worked with me in the past. It's been a really, really good time. I love all you people. Thank you for helping me grow to be the person that I am today. On a final note, like and subscribe. I'm so good at these. This is great. Thanks to my parents that always watch these, and my extended family that always watch these and always say the nicest of things. You guys are amazing. It's been hype. I think that's the last thing I want to say. Yup. I can't think of anything else. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next week or in a couple weeks. I don't know.